So big, hearty hello and welcome from Nicholas Di Castella here at the Australian Breathwork College for this core clearing breathwork introduction workshop. And I've decided to deliver heaps in this, and it will be recorded. And so if I go a bit fast, just understand you can come back and listen to the recording and pick up the details. So I decided to make this experiential, informative, transformative, rather than just skim along the surface. I'm going to jump right in. So if you don't know me, you're probably going, who is this dude anyway? And so my name's Nicholas Di Castella. I've been a breathwork practitioner for just on 30 years, and I've created a dream life from breathwork. I love to run. I've run all my life pretty much. Had a bit of a rest in the middle of my life, but I'm picking it up again now and running faster now than I have in the last 20 years. Susie and I, my wife, have a passion for breathwork and personal growth, and we've been running transformational workshops, which I'll show you since probably close to 30 years. So we live it, breathe it, talk it, walk it, and we just feel so blessed to be surrounded by a heart-centered community that love and support us and share a passion for growth. We have two fabulous sons, Charlie and Alex, that are 19 and 18, and they've just turned into just amazing young men in their own right. They're their own person. And I am quite happy with how the experiment is going so far. Alex just finished his last year 12 exam last week and had a valedictory dinner, and he got a collegiate award and just outstanding in his school. So we're very proud. We live on 7 acres of rainforest on the outskirts of Melbourne, and we have a healing centre in the city. We have a retreat center here where people come and do workshops, and we live in paradise. We're surrounded by bush and mountains and fern trees and creeks and things, and it's just lush and green up here. Beautiful. I spend a lot of my time giving presentations on how to connect head to heart. This is me at the Australasian Integrative Medical Association's national conference a few years ago. And so we're making a big difference in the world with breathwork. And that difference in the world, it needs to happen. I think probably everyone who's on this session realizes that humanity is in a transformational phase at the moment. It's not just all downhill. It's actually, I believe it's a birthing process where we're awakening to the fact that we're intimately connected to everything. We need to come back into relationship with ourselves, each other, and the planet. And breath work is the ideal modality to facilitate reconnecting head to heart. And so it's not surprising that at the moment there's a real resurgence of breath work in our society. I'm going to talk about as we go. My life hasn't always been a bed of roses, though. In 85, I was sitting in the front seat of this car, and my best friend was driving, and his wife was in the back, which was just kind of half fortunate for me because we picked her up after work, and she passed away in that accident, and that was a real shake-up. I was 25. I was at the Australian Institute of Sport in those days, and it just shook my world up. I ended up suffering from anxiety that led into chronic fatigue and started struggling in training at the Institute of Sport. I've been through a loss of my passion for architecture when I shifted to breathwork. And so I've had my challenges, and those challenges, particularly the anxiety and chronic fatigue, led me to go on a journey to find answers. I didn't find any in the traditional routes, but had my big awakening in 1988. Those who have been on these webinars before haven't seen this photo of me at the front there. So there's something new. But in 88, I attended my first workshop where I started to go inside, and I realized that actually success and happiness is an inner game thing. I'd been training hard, doing 2-3 sessions a day, running 200 kilometers a week, day in, day out, 365 days of the year, but didn't get to the level that I was aiming at. And then I realized in this workshop that I was the one that was making my own life difficult. And the better part was that I realized that I could actually make it a lot easier. So I learned to heal my body, and I started to run faster on less training. I ended up representing Australia in 4 world championships and ran 2 hours 15 for the marathon. I found my purpose on earth, which was through breath work, connecting and helping people to heal and grow, and creating a heart-centered community. And as I shared before, I've created a dream life doing what I love. So even though my world turned upside down, it actually came out the right side up. So that's a brief snapshot into my past. As I mentioned, we're surrounded with a beautiful heart-centered community, and we've been doing it a long time. And thanks to the COVID lockdown, we're putting a lot of energy into our online breathwork training, and that is now going around the world. And we have people in Estonia and Czechoslovakia done the training and working as breathwork practitioners from this core clearing training. So I'd love to just get a window into what brings you here in this session. So who's primarily here because you're looking to find your purpose, you're interested in breathwork training from a scale of 1 to 10 in this area? How important is it to you? So I'll put in here purpose. Just in the chat, I'd love for you to participate in this session. You'll find that it keeps you engaged in this and doesn't turn into watching TV on a Friday night and drifting off. If you participate in the chat, it'll keep you engaged, and it gives me feedback as well. So from a scale of 1 to 10 in importance, finding your purpose, interested in breath work, passionate about breath work. Thank you for Jeffrey's an 8, and a 7, Lynn's a 7. Awesome. Della's a 10. Yes, Della's just done the breathwork training, the core clearing, and doing great guns with it, getting great feedback. Dan's an 8. Awesome. Gordana's just done the breathwork training. She's a 10. Marlon's 11. Kate's a 10. Beautiful. Yeah. Carly, good to have you here, Carly. It's a 7. And Kate, interested as group. Yeah, I want to talk about that. And Mary, 10. Fantastic. Lots of people loving the breathwork. Anybody feeling stuck or blocked in your life? So we're going to do a core clearing session tonight. So that's a chance to get unstuck and move forward. So anyone feeling stuck or blocked there? Stuck. Where are you? 1 to 10. Let me know. Dan's a bit of a yep. Yep. Jeffrey's a 5. Lynn's a 5. Marlon, relate to the dogs. Yeah. Dan's a 5, Iona's a 6, Carly's a 6, Dana's a 6. Yeah, lots around 5 and 6. All right, so we'll see if we can create a shift in this session. What about health issues? Who's here, brought you here for getting some insights on healing, increasing vitality, getting over pain, health challenges? Or maybe not even brought you here, but just happened to be on the plate at the moment in your life. Let us know. 1 to 10. I'd love for everyone to join in if you may. That'd be great. Dan's a 2. Yep. Carly's lung condition, so breathwork probably a good thing to learn. Diana, 5. Kate's passionate. Kate's a trainer, personal trainer, coach, well-being coach. So Della's a 4, Jeffrey's 4, Lynn's an 8, Gordana's a 4. Thanks, guys, for joining in. And what about the relationship front? Who's here at this time in your life where your relationships are really important? Either, you're looking to deepen a relationship, looking to find a loving relationship, looking to end a relationship, enjoying being single. Jeffrey, didn't put relationship there. That was 4. Okay, so yeah, so not huge on the scale. Kate, Ken, 10, yes. Good on you, Kate. Fantastic. Sorry, I love being single. Beautiful. Marlon's an 8. Great. Thank you guys for chipping in here. Anyone here feeling like you've achieved success in your life, but there's still something missing? Like, let me know if you relate to that. Maybe you've got this sense of searching and, sometimes actually, getting success, you get to the other end and you find, oh, it's empty. Didn't do what I thought it was going to do for me. Yeah. I obviously became an architect and got there and went, oh dear, I think I've climbed the wrong ladder. What about who's got a passion to live life fully? Live life fully, put it that way. Oops. Who's got a passion? Usually everybody has this. Live life fully. Yes, yes, yes. We only have people here who have a passion to live life fully. And that's awesome, beautiful, heart-opening work. It's all about coming alive and living life fully. So you're in the right place. So in this session, I want to teach some core clearing, heart-centered living principles. And these will be good refreshers for those that have done the training before. We're going to do the actual core clearing process. So I'll guide you through that. I'm going to zip through the 9 steps to becoming a thriving transformational leader. And then for those who are interested in the core clearing breathwork certification, then we'll talk about that at the end. So the idea is you can live your love and love your life. So the big thing about our work is that it's what we call heart-centered. And I believe, as I said already, humanity is making this massive shift from head-based, cognitively based, to heart-based, being feeling qualitative-based, quality of our life. And this shift that we're making, I would say, is as big or bigger than the shift that happened when Nicholas Copernicus suggested that the Earth goes around the sun rather than the other way around. And that was such a radical idea that I think he was put in jail. Certainly Galileo, who came 100 years after him, invented the telescope, was confined to house arrest for suggesting such heresy. But actually, that kind of a shift in consciousness is the same as what we're talking about here and what we'll be exploring in this session. So one of the pillars, not surprisingly, is what we call heart breathing. And the beautiful thing about the breath is that it helps us to connect in our body and to shift the energy. And how it works is that we tend to repress our emotions by constricting, by tightening up on the breath, right? And so when we start to focus on our breath, it does 3 things. First of all, it brings us into the present moment. So whenever you're conscious of your breath, you're here now, because not often we remember that great breath we took last week. So the breath is an anchor to the present moment. And all of our work is about connecting to the present, becoming more alive, more engaged, more connected to what actually exists. The second thing about the breath that's fabulous is that it energizes our body. So of course, we're taking in oxygen and breathing out carbon dioxide and all that. So we're energizing through the breath, and we use that in breath work to raise the energy in our body. And the third really important aspect of the breath is that it creates flow. So when we're stressed or uptight, we call it, we lock up in our body. And when we focus on our breath and we start to allow the breath to flow, what that does, it allows the energy in our body to flow. And what that does, it allows everything to come back into harmony and balance again. So the 3 dimensions of heart breathing are, first of all, that it's a deep breath. It's belly to heart. So say helicopter with these swooped here. So you breathe down to your belly. So I want you just to do that now as I'm talking. Take a breath in down to your belly and up to your heart. So it's sometimes we call it a full breath. The second aspect of heart breathing is that the inhale is active and the exhale is passive. So you draw the breath in through the nose or through the mouth is fine. And then you breathe out and you let go. Just take a moment to be aware of that and consciously put the accent on the inhale, breathe in down to your belly and up to your heart, and then let go. And the third piece of the breath is that it's continuous, right, or connected. So that means we don't hold the breath at either end when we're doing the heart breathing. And that's the main breathing pattern we use for the core clearing breath work. So on a stress level, stress anxiety level, just in the chat, we're going to do a little experiment. Check into your body now and let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 how you're going, just intuitively. Don't, no one's going to be measured on it, but just check in where you're at. Gordana's 8, Diana's 2, Iona 4, Dan 4, Della 3, Jeffrey 6. Yeah, thank you. You can't get this wrong. Lynn's a 4, Susan's a 7, right? Mary's a 1, Marlon's 2. Mary must have been down the beach today having coffee. Carly's a 6, Kate's a 2. Fantastic. Thanks everybody for joining in. Okay, so I want to guide you through this breathing, the heart breathing, for 1 minute, and let's check in again and see what's happening to your stress levels. So let your eyes close. It's very simple. And bring your attention to your breath. Drawing the breath in through the nose is fine. A deep breath. See if you can deepen your breath. So breathing down to your belly, filling up to your chest, and then let the breath go. Just let the air fall out. Draw the breath in, belly, chest, and let go. Staying with your breath. Draw the breath in again, belly, chest, just nice and gentle is great, and then let go. See if you can feel that feeling of letting go as you breathe out. Great. Again, gently drawing the breath in, down to your belly and up to your chest, and letting go. Just letting the natural flow of the breath at its own rhythm happen. Drawing the breath gently in, belly, chest, and letting go. Awesome. Okay, so now gently bring yourself back and let your eyes open and check in again. The stress, anxiety level from 1 to 10 in the chat. Love to see where you're at. Kate's a 2. It went from close to sleep. So great. Oh, yeah. Okay. Susan's a 4 from a 6. Great. Dan's a 2. I think you might have been a 4 or 2, Dan. Marlon's a 1. 2. Gordana's a 4. Fantastic. Yeah. Carly's, I think you were 6 before we, Carly, to 5. In 4 to 2. Great. Fantastic. So close to 50% shift for a lot of people in that. Now, I've got a big clock with a sweep hand here, and we did that for 60 seconds, right? So I was timing it. So that was 1 minute of focusing on your breath creates a substantial shift in where your energy's at. So something to take away from here is if you're feeling a bit stressed or anxious in your day, just come back to your breath, because it's a really powerful way of accessing that subconscious parasympathetic rest and digest nervous system. So I want to talk about some of the core principles in the core clearing process. And the core clearing breath work originated when I was doing a lot of life coaching about 7 years ago on the phone. And for 15 years before that, I'd been doing a lot of lying down breathwork sessions with people. And when I was coaching, it's a bit harder to get them to lie down while I'm talking to them on the phone. And so I developed this technique for helping people to access the subconscious emotional blocks that are holding them back in their life and clear them. And it turned out to be a really powerful technique. And I packaged it up and presented as a process now that people are picking up all around the world and getting great shifts with it. The big thing that I discovered back then when I was coaching people is that we get stuck by trying to avoid doing what's going to activate our subconscious unprocessed emotions. So what that means is that when you're procrastinating or you're self-sabotaging, you're actually protecting yourself from something that's in your subconscious that could get activated if you took action on it. For instance, I had a guy I was coaching who was also a life coach, but he wasn't doing any marketing and he was beating himself up about procrastinating about his marketing. So we did a core clearing session with him and I took him inside and down through the layers. And the first thing that came up was that he was angry at his pro bono clients when he was doing his coach training who didn't do what he told them to do. So subconsciously, he didn't want anyone else not doing what he told them to do. So he is blocking himself from getting clients. So he processed that through. And then he went deeper and found that actually he didn't want to be a coach right now. In fact, he bought the property next door. He wanted to do this development. And unconsciously, strangely enough, he actually didn't want to do any coaching because he thought recently that it was going to get in the way of him doing this building development that he really wanted to get into. So before the session, he had no idea of that. And the beautiful thing about it was that he actually understood himself more and could see the good purpose in not doing any marketing for his coaching, which meant that it took the shame off him. And so he could just let it go and focus on where he really wanted to go. So that's what I find all the time. And this is the power of the core clearing breath work, is that we help people to drop underneath the stuff that's in our head, what we think are the issues, and actually connect to, usually it's some kind of past trauma that's incomplete that is like parallel to what we're looking at that could get activated. So for instance, another example would be people that avoid conflict probably have witnessed conflict or been in conflict in the past. And so actually, the risk of having a conflict is so big, and the emotional charge on that so big that those people often will become submissive and go out of integrity with themselves in order to avoid having a conflict. So they actually have this unprocessed trauma in the past that's blocking them from living and speaking their truth. The next principle that we use a lot in the core clearing breathwork is that change happens when we experience what is. So this is a really magical aspect of breathwork that really underpins everything that we do, because what we do with breathwork is we focus on the breath and then we allow whatever happens to happen, right? And if you think about that, that's like opening up to whatever, are you mad? That's like losing control. But underpinning breathwork is this principle that actually healing happens, or peace happens, or love happens, or integration happens when we experience what is. And so what we're doing in the core clearing breathwork is we're bringing people into relationship with themselves and helping them to connect more deeply with what's already present. And the interesting thing is, when people do that, they shift, right? So we don't make the changes happen. They actually happen when we experience what's going on. And so what we're talking about here is this basic goodness, this tendency towards wholeness and health and happiness that's innate in life, that, that the body is built for peace and happiness and love and contentment and abundance. And the reason why we don't experience those things is because we've shut down and blocked. And so we're holding ourselves in a state of lack, in a state of block. And so with core clearing breathwork, we're just very gently bringing people up to connect to what's really going on at deeper and deeper levels. And when people feel that, they shift. And that could be physical pain in the body. It could be anger, could be fear, anxiety, sadness, whatever it is. What we find is that when people actually feel what they're feeling, they heal. So sometimes you might have heard it, the healing is in the feeling. Or another way we say this, Susie loved this, is we help people clear the subconscious emotional, how do we go? Clear the subconscious emotional feelings that cause issues in our life, something like that. So that's a really beautiful principle to reflect on. So some other heart-centered living principles are that we're working with all the time in the core clearing breathwork is that we're living with presence. So as a facilitator and as a father, as a partner, as a friend, it's the quality of our presence that impacts people the most. Not what we think, not our opinions, not what we say, but how open we are with people, how much in relationship are we with them, how embodied in ourselves are we. And so the focus in the core clearing breath work is to become embodied, because when you're present in yourself, everything functions at its peak. So physically, you perform better. In fact, that is what the zone is. Mentally, you think more clearly. Intuitively, you're more in touch with your intuition. In relationships, you're more patient and tolerant and kind and compassion when you're present with people. So presence for us is the path and the destination. So the second principle that we're working with is accepting rather than judging. So one of the beautiful things about core clearing is we're all the time saying yes to this, yes to this, yes to what is. Because when we say this is bad, this is wrong, we instantly start to contract around it, and then we get stuck. And so with the core clearing breathwork and the heart-centered living that we're doing, we're always saying yes to life. And what that does next is it allows us to allow the process that's unfolding without force, without pushing, without driving. And, I got chronic fatigue largely because I was pushing and driving myself using willpower. And the beautiful thing about this modality that's heart-centered is that it's based on surrender. It's based on letting go. It's based on trusting and allowing the process that wants to happen to unfold and to let it happen. So what we find is that when we get into the pushing, we actually create resistance. So there's pushback. Everyone knows that when somebody pushes you, you automatically feel like resisting it. And the same's happening with your feelings. And so when we're doing the core clearing breath work, we're all the time practicing opening up and welcoming in whatever we're feeling. And strangely enough, pain and discomfort actually diminishes when we do this and increases when we resist it. In fact, we say pain is a measure of resistance. So what all this adds up to is that we can actually make forward progress in clearing the blocks that are holding us back and living our life fully with gentleness rather than with force. And so then if you're going to do all this, how do you move forward? And the answer to that is we use what we call fearlessness or courage to step forward into situations that are uncomfortable, that can be scary, but actually we connect to our heart and trust that intuitive guidance of living an authentic life. And it's courage, it's the capacity to stay with discomfort and to move forward that really allows us to develop mastery and to ultimately, in this context, to heal, but in fact, to live life fully. So what is core clearing breathwork then? So everyone just take a breath for a second. I've just downloaded a fair bit. So again, you can come back and listen to this in the recording. What is core clearing breathwork? Well, it's summed up in 3 words: thinking, feeling, and then loving. Thinking, feeling, and loving. They're like 3 layers that we guide people through And I'm going to guide you through these 3 layers. So I'm kind of unpacking this for you so you have a little sense when I'm guiding you through the core clearing, what we're working with here and how we're going about it. So let's have a look at thinking. So we say thoughts are abstractions from experience. Now, what that means is that experience comes first, and then we analyze it, we compare it, we judge it, we make up stories about it. This is a good day, this is a bad day, that's a good person, bad person, so on and so on. And all those stories are mostly where we live, because we live in a cognitively based Western society that worships thinking. And, you know, Descartes said, I think, therefore I am, right? So we say, I think, therefore I'm confused. And what we find is that trying to argue with kind of negative thoughts just gets us in an argument. And so when we do core clearing, we don't argue with the thoughts, and we don't try and change the thoughts even. We're actually going deeper than the thoughts, because the truth is that nothing has any meaning except for the meaning that we give it. So if you saw The Gods Must Be Crazy, the Coke bottle falls out of the plane in the Kalahari Desert, and the local people, the natives, don't have any reference for a Coke bottle. So it's got no meaning. They can't integrate it in any way. And so what we're doing all the time in our life is we're having experiences and then we're giving meaning to them, but that's not innate to the experience. It's something that we're projecting onto it mostly from our past experiences and our conditionings. And the really big turnaround in our heart center work is the principle that thoughts arise secondary to feelings. And so most psychology is based on trying to change the thoughts to change the feelings. But what we find with the core clearing breath work is if we can help people to shift what we might call negative or difficult feelings into what we might call positive ones, then actually the thinking changes by itself. We don't have to force ourselves to try to be positive. So how we do that, how we disarm thinking and stories, is we witness them. So we practice being the observer of the thoughts and the stories. Takes a bit of practice, but it's actually an easy way out, much easier than arguing positive, negative kind of way of doing it. So at the thinking level, which is where we normally start when we have an issue, we're full on into all the stories. What we're doing is we witness the stories without any judgment about them. They're just stories. And then we want to drop deeper under the stories to what we're actually feeling. And then we're going to journey into our hearts after that. So let me talk briefly about the feeling level, which is where it all happens. So repressed emotions drive us, right? So the saying we have is what you don't feel runs you. So repressed emotions give rise to restlessness, anxiety, stress, reactivity, excessive doing, and excessive thinking. Right? So when I give presentations, often this is the slide everybody wants to write down, because we all connect to this. We understand that our emotions are energy and they're moving all the time. And if we're not mastering them, then they are driving us. So let me unpack emotions just a little bit more for you. Sorry about the out of order. Emotions are real, right? And you've grown up being taught that emotions are fantasy. So when you're feeling sad, people tell you to cheer up. When you're feeling angry, people will tell you to calm down, and so on. So I grew up with the idea that emotions are a byproduct of what I'm thinking about. But actually, when I started doing breath work, I realized emotions have their own reality in my body. And emotions are actually energy. They have a good purpose, and their purpose is to move us in our life, to give us energy in different situations. That makes them important, because most studies show that we make decisions based on what we're feeling, not what we're thinking, that we rationalize with thoughts, but we make decisions on our feelings. And even more than that, our emotions actually change how our brain functions, and how you're feeling conditions how you see the world. Now, strange thing is, We all know this, but it's just not the culture that we live in. So when you're happy, guess how the world looks, right? It looks rosy, doesn't it? And when you're unhappy, the world looks bleak, right? So what that means is the emotion that you're feeling has changed your perception, right? And so what that means is the feelings come first, and what you're feeling changes how your brain functions, right? So the second part of working with feelings is working with sensations. And with the core clearing breath work, what I'm going to do is I'm going to guide you into your body and help you to connect to what's really going on whatever area or issue you're working on. Now, sensations have two aspects. They have a location, so they're always somewhere in your body, and they have qualities like warm, cool, heavy, light, tight, loose, steady, pulsing, so on. So what we're doing is we're actually going to focus on an issue, tune into the body, what's getting activated in my body when I do the heart breathing. So the sensations link to the emotions because all emotions are expressed in the body as physical sensations. So you can help to identify the emotion that's really happening for you, not the one in your head, but actually in your body, by tuning into the physical sensations. We use an emotional literacy model that I've developed of 6 primary emotions, and it's joy and sadness in the chest. So when you're feeling tight in the chest, heavy in the chest, it's often about grief. Excitement and fear in the solar plexus. So if you're feeling anxious, you probably have had that kind of like, sometimes people call it a steel ball in the stomach. And passion and enthusiasm or anger, sorry, in the guts. So we say, I've had a gutful of this. So we're keying in and starting to recognize the emotions that link to the physical sensations, because the old saying is the body never lies. And so rather than trying to figure out in our head what we're feeling, what we do is we go by braille, we go by feel. We tune into the body and we start to feel what's actually going on in here. So you might be, say, thinking that you're feeling kind of glum, but when you tune into your body, you might find you're actually kind of numb. There's actually not much happening there at all. Or you might be feeling kind of nervous or anxious. And when you tune into your body, strangely enough, I've seen lots of people actually feeling quite calm, quite peaceful. So the body is the master, the key for helping us to connect with what's true. The emotional layer is where everyone gets stuck, because we live in a culture that teaches us that to be strong, you have to repress your emotions. And that is actually a sickness and causes massive amounts of suffering. And so most people don't have very many skills to process their emotions. And what we teach in the core clearing breathwork training is how to work with the sensations and the emotions, and with this heart attitude of gentleness and surrender and allowing and presence to dissolve the feelings and complete the emotions from the past that are actually subconsciously holding us back. And what happens is when you feel the emotion, you actually will drop through into what we call a heart space, into loving. So the heart space, or the heart qualities, are kind of known as presence with a capital P. And they're often characterized by feeling calm, quiet, spacious, peaceful, loving, happy, something like that in a core clearing session. So when I'm guiding you through this, I want you to be paying attention. Hopefully you'll find some resistance, find some pain in your body, something blocked. You breathe in there, you open up to it, you welcome it in, and then there'll come a point when it feels like, it just released or it's shifted. And you might not notice that shift, but when you go to tune in again, you might find, I just feel calm, feel peaceful. And often people think at that point, I must have lost it. I must have lost it. I've got to go back and find it again. But in fact, usually what's happened is it's shifted and people have dropped into a layer deeper than emotion, which we call the heart qualities. Now, at that point, we're connected in our heart. We have access to heart intelligence. And that's a place where you get insight, inspiration, and intuitive guidance. And so often when we have an issue, we're trying to think our way through it and we overthink it. And that just takes us further away than what the real intuitive heart-centered guidance really the highest response to the situation would be. And so what we do in the core clearing is once people get to that heart space, then we have a certain what do we say, strategy or formula or something to help people to connect to their heart intelligence for guidance in there. And I'll share with you how we put that together. So basically in your heart, there is a lot of different heart qualities that are deeper than emotions. Ease is one of those. And the practice that activates ease is effortless flow. And the dancer is what I love to model that. Happiness is a heart quality, and savoring the moment is a practice that we use to cultivate happiness. Peace is a heart quality, and the practice of acceptance builds peace. Love is a heart quality, and the practice of compassion builds love. Connection is a heart quality, and the practice of presence or openness builds connection. Gentleness is a heart quality, and the practice of mercy or forgiveness is the one that cultivates gentleness. Spaciousness, that sense of like awe or wonder when you look up at the stars at nighttime, is a heart quality. And the practice that we use for that is mystery or letting go of the need to understand. Wealth, abundance is a heart quality. And the practice that breeds that is actually generosity. Strength and courage, I mentioned before, the practice of welcoming in, or the Buddhists call it Tonglen. So opening up to discomfort instead of closing down on it is the way to become incredibly powerful. Gratitude is another really powerful heart quality. And the practices we use to cultivate gratitude are praise and appreciation. And enthusiasm is a heart quality that arises when we follow our heart. Now, what we do in the core clearing, and I'll guide you in this, is when we go through to the heart state, I'm going to ask you which of these heart qualities you're being called to develop in this situation, whatever the challenge is for you, whether it's a relationship or work issue or a health issue or a lifestyle issue, whatever the issue is, you can bet that you're actually being called to develop one of these heart qualities, or another one that's not on the list, because there's more than I've listed here, but these are the main ones. And so what you're going to do is you're going to identify from your heart, ask your heart for guidance on this, which heart quality I'm being called to develop here. And then I'm going to suggest a heart practice that goes with it, and you're going to put those two together. So if we summarize all of this, then you're going to start off by identifying an issue. It could be anything, and it's best if it's an actual thing, not something that could happen in the future. So see if you can find, say, for instance, I'm worried that if I get into a relationship, it's not going to last. Well, that's in the future, right? So guess where that's coming from? It's probably coming from a past relationship that didn't last. And what's actually happening in the present is I'm feeling nervous about going out and meeting people. So see if you can find what's actually happening in the present, because it'll give you more leverage to actually connect to what's going on. And then it's likely that if you connect to what's really going on in the now, it does take you back to a previous time, because most of our emotions link by feeling, right? So previous feelings that we've had at similar situations get linked together subconsciously. And so whatever feeling comes up when you focus on an issue is probably linked to a past time when you've experienced a similar situation and similar emotions. And so you can use it as you can use your emotions as like a bridge or a link to track back to the incomplete past experience that's actually subconsciously holding you back from moving forward now. I hope that all makes sense. So what we're doing, first thing is we describe the issue, and then we just witness the thoughts and the stories that we have around it. And then we start to breathe into the body and connect to the sensations and the emotion. And we cycle down through each emotion, because there can be layers of emotion, until you get to presence, until you feel stillness or calmness or emptiness. And at that point, I'm going to suggest to you those 12 heart qualities and practices, and you're going to listen to your heart in this area with this issue, which one you're being called to develop here. And then we're going to put that together in a little intention. I consent to living in the presence of the heart qualities, say peace, and practicing heart practice, which would be acceptance. And so you can go away from this session with a little intention that really can embody you being in a good place to move forward with the issue that you're working with here. Does that all make sense so far? How are we tracking? Give me a thumbs up. Yep, I'm with it. Oh, not sure. Don't worry if it's not totally clear. Awesome. Thanks, Kate. Beautiful. Great. Nice refresher for those that have done the training before, just to brush up on the essence, the basic principles here. Great. So how this all hangs together. Thanks, Stella. two people have got it. I hope everyone is still awake and present here. So here's an example of how this works. So I was coaching a business coach, and this woman was stuck in her business. And one of the stories she had was, thanks, Mary, I'm a bad mum. So the story was, I'm a bad mum for not being present with my kids because I'm off at work doing coaching. And when she breathed into her body, it wasn't far down that she felt this shame that she was like bad. And when she breathed into that, strangely enough, there was a fear of losing loved ones, right? So the fear of the loss of her kids. And when she breathed into that, there was some grief. And it was the grief of the loss of her grandmother, who had passed away the year before, was sitting there just under the surface. And she had a bit of a cry. She released some of the grief and opened up her heart. And before you knew it, she was feeling the love that she had for her grandmother. Even though her grandmother had passed away, she still had the love for her grandmother. So what we know is, in the head, we're separate, but in the heart, we're all connected. And she really got it. And beautiful poetry in this, she realized that when she's at work, she's still connected in her heart to her kids, even though they might be at school or kinder or wherever, in creche or whatever. So there was a beautiful kind of poetry in how that all unraveled. And that's the kind of layers that we go through. And that's why I call this the tiramisu model, because the best part's at the bottom. So now you know my weakness, my kryptonite. So everybody ready to do a core clearing session? Give me a hearty yes in the chat, and throw your hat across the fence. Owner's a yes. Beautiful. Kate's a yes. Lindsay, yes. Great. Gordana, fantastic. Great. Marlins, everybody's awake and present and ready to go, ready for a breakthrough, ready for a shift. This is magic. This core clearing is beautiful. It's gentle. It's very safe, and it can be really, really profound. Really profound. And I should mention, while I'm raving about it, that before we start, we let go of all expectations about it, and we open up to the experience and trust that whatever comes up for you is perfect for where you are in your life right now. So what you need to start off with is an issue. You need a problem. So anyone who doesn't have a problem, I can tell you a few of mine and you can work on them. I'm only kidding. Usually there's no shortage of challenges that we have in our life. Thanks, Kate. You're quick on the type. So what I'd like you to do is just call to mind a challenge. It could be an issue, it could be a problem. Best something that's happening now, could be somebody that's getting under your skin, worrying about finances, not being stuck in your business, feeling depressed, feeling anxious, feeling sad. And if you can find the context for that, that's even more powerful. Righto. So let's jump in. So sit yourself up nice and straight. Let your eyes close gently and bring yourself into the present moment. Just be aware of being in the here and now, sitting in the chair, feeling your breath coming in and out. And I'd like you to take a moment to think about an issue that you're working with, something that's troubling you, somewhere that you feel stuck or blocked or frustrated or sad, anxious. And be aware of where that happens. Does it happen at work? Does it happen when you wake up in the morning? Does it happen when you go to leave? Does it happen at nighttime when you get the bills? When do you feel this? So I want you just to see if you can either get a mental picture of where you are and what's happening, or just kind of remember what the feeling is in the situation. Some people are more feeling based, don't have so many pictures, and that's totally okay. It worked just as well. So just take a moment to tune in to the issue and how it's impacting you, and taking away your peace and happiness and aliveness and enthusiasm and gratitude. And don't judge it at this stage. We just want to connect with it. So be aware of what the issue is. Be aware of how long it's been there for. Most of these issues have been there some time. And everything that you've done to try to get over it, around it, under it, across it. And here it is, still here. So just breathe in there. Don't judge yourself for it. Just allow it. Acknowledge this is where you're at. For better or worse, this is the best you can do up until now. And there's probably a whole bunch of stories that you've got linked to this issue. And take a moment to become aware of what you tell yourself about having this issue. There's something wrong with me. I must be faulty. Can't believe I still got this problem after all the money I spent on personal development. What do people think if they knew about this? I'm never going to get over this. Just gloss through all the stories that are hung around this issue and understand that the thoughts and the stories are just electrical impulses going through your brain. And most of them actually were inherited by the people you grew up with. They told you these things. You're never going to amount to anything. You're no good. There's something wrong with you. You're not good enough. You can't do it. Just breathe in and just, again, neutrally witness the stories. Be aware that they're all in your head. They're in your brain. You might even feel it in your head. When you're telling yourself these stories, it's all in your head. And the stories are just electrical impulses going through your brain. They have no inherent truth or meaning because they change from day to day. Today you're a superhero, tomorrow you're a schmuck. It's just a story. So we don't argue with the stories. What we want to do right now, just become aware of them from the outside. We become the observer of the stories by witnessing them. And that takes us out of the river of the stories that tends to sweep us along in our day. And just sit there like you're sitting on the side of the bank, observing the stories now. Good. And then come back to the issue again. Come back to the problem, the challenge. And take a breath into your body. Breathe into your belly and up to your chest. Nice deep breath. And then breathe out and let go. Holding the issue in mind. Breathing into your body again. Belly, chest, letting go. Connecting your breath so that it flows in and out, round and round. Drawing the breath in, belly, chest, and letting go. That's the way. Connecting your breath so you're energizing your body, holding in mind this situation, this challenge, this problem, this issue, starting to tune in to your body. What's happening in your body as you focus on this issue? You feel any tension anywhere? In your forehead, in your eyes, in your temples, in your jaw, in your neck, your shoulders, in your throat? Breathing in, belly to chest, energizing your body, opening up, giving yourself permission to feel what you feel. Is it in your arms, in your hands, tension? Is it across your chest, in your solar plexus, in the middle of your torso, in the stomach area? It was in your belly, in your guts, your legs, calves, feet. Take a breath into your body. Let yourself feel. That's it. Nice deep breath and let go and just allow yourself to feel whatever the emotion is that's getting activated around this issue. And that emotion has a physical presence in your body as sensations. So you just need to focus in your body and see where your attention is drawn to, where the dominant sensations are in your body. Breathing helps to facilitate that flow of energy. So breathing in, activating your body and opening up, giving yourself permission to feel what you feel. Maybe the feeling is tight. Maybe it's hard. Maybe it's soft. Maybe it's steady. Maybe it's pulsing. Maybe it's sharp. Maybe it's dull. Just breathing in and focusing where the dominant sensations are in your body. See if you can identify the qualities that these sensations have. Maybe it's a sense of pressure coming in, particularly in the head, or pressure wanting to expand out. Breathing in there, allow yourself to feel nice, deep belly, chest, and let go. That's the way. Connecting your breath, keeping the breath flowing, because when your breath is flowing, the energy in your body can flow and things can come into harmony and balance. And be aware of what the emotion is. Usually it's either feeling sad in the chest, particularly as heaviness, or maybe you're feeling angry, frustrated, often in the throat as something to say. Sometimes in the shoulder blades, in your back, anger, and in your fist. Maybe you're feeling anxious, nervous in the solar plexus, some tightness. Or maybe there's a lot of judgment going on in your head, causing you a headache, tightness across your forehead, breathing in there, coming from maybe something underneath that, some sadness or some fear. Taking another deep breath. Let yourself feel, let yourself open, let yourself connect. Because whatever's coming up in response to this situation is coming up for your healing. It's coming up for your growth. And this situation is triggering something as an opportunity for you to heal and to grow through it. That's the way we know that the healing's in the feeling. So you breathe in to your body and you let yourself feel it. And you might have some tears coming. That's beautiful. Great to cry. Grieving is letting go. It allows us to move forward. You might be feeling some anger, and that's fantastic too. You might be feeling this kind of power, this self-assertion, this energy for change. And we work with anger, with finding what do you feel like saying. If you feel frustrated, annoyed, irritated, angry, or even disappointed, what do you feel like saying? Breathing into your body and energizing yourself and giving yourself permission to open up and feel what you feel. See if you can find words for it, if it's something you need to say, and imagine yourself saying it. Take another breath in. If it's fear that you're working with, often in the solar plexus, and the tendency is to block it, to want to push it out. And right now, I want to invite you to welcome it in. So breathe into the fear. See if you can let it come in, because that's actually the way to dissipate it. Breathing in, belly, chest, nice, deep, strong breaths, expanding and letting go, relax. That's the way. Let yourself feel what you feel. Welcome it in. Understand it's coming up right now for your healing. And if you feel numb or blank or frozen, then that's important too. I want you to focus on that and breathe into that and see if you can connect to those feelings more deeply. Often they'll shift once you feel them. So just make it okay. Whatever you feel, there's a good reason why you feel this. You don't need to understand it. But sometimes it'll take you back to a previous time when you felt this feeling. So tune in, breathe into your belly and up to your chest. Feel your body, feel the energy flowing in your body. It might be swirling, it might be wanting to expand out or come in or move down or move up. Take a few breaths and see if you can feel a sense of buzzing or humming or vibrating in your body. That's your energy. And your body is built for wholeness. It knows what it needs to do to heal, and you can allow it to flow where it needs to go. So breathing into your belly and up to your heart, allowing the experience that wants to emerge right now to flow, saying yes to this. Taking a conscious breath into your belly, up to your heart, check back into your body again. The body is the barometer of the soul. It's your anchor to truth. So check into your body. What's happening now? Call to mind the situation once again. Breathe into your body and notice what's here now. Could be a different emotion, could be the same, could be more intense or less intense, could be in a different part of your body now. Breathing into your belly, up to your chest, expanding and letting go. That's the way. Checking into your body, checking in what's happening here. Maybe you're still processing emotion. Maybe it's shifted to a different emotion now and you want to breathe in there and feel that. Belly, chest, expanding and letting go. That's the way. Expanding and letting go. Beautiful. That's the way. Expanding and letting go. Beautiful. That's the way. You're doing great. Staying present. If your mind wanders off, that's okay. Just as soon as you see you wandered off, come back. Take a deep breath into your body and come back in the present moment. Even though you're going deep, stay present, stay conscious, stay alert, breathing and letting go, allowing the process to flow, connecting more and more deeply inside. And if this situation has triggered a past memory, then you might like to feel what was there then and imagine maybe the big you, the adult you back there with the child, if it was a child situation, as safety and support. And maybe you need to say something. Maybe you need to reach out for help. Maybe you need to feel something. Be there with the adult and see what you need to do to complete this past. Taking a breath in, maybe there's some grief there to feel. Maybe you were very little and very scared. Maybe the adult you now can just hold you in that space and just tell you you're safe to feel this fear now that's been in your body ever since. And it's coming up for a healing in this moment. Breathing into your belly and up to your chest and letting go. That's the way. Expanding and letting go. And maybe you've dropped through the emotional layer and you're feeling peaceful or calm or empty or open. Maybe you're feeling some softness in your energy. We're going to shift to that state. The way you do that, if you're still processing, is you take a deep breath into your body and and know that maybe there's more to process on another session, but you've done well and you've moved forward by feeling what you felt. I want you to take a deep breath into the whole of your body now and let your awareness expand through your body down to your hands and feet. See if you can feel the humming, the vibrating in your body, your energy. Breathing into your belly and up to your heart, connecting in your heart now. Understanding that these challenges in our life are always calling us to grow, to develop some heart quality. Maybe you're being called to develop sense of ease instead of forcing and pushing and driving to connect to effortless flow. Maybe it's about savoring the moment and finding happiness in the now. Maybe it's about coming to peace through acceptance, letting go of judgment. Maybe it's about learning about love and unconditional acceptance and compassion. Maybe it's about connection, coming into relationship through openness, being vulnerable. Maybe it's about learning to be gentle with yourself or others through mercy and forgiveness, or connecting to spaciousness, letting go of the need to understand and opening to mystery, or practicing generosity, giving of spirit to experience more abundance. Maybe if this situation is calling you to develop courage by turning and facing what you're afraid of and building inner strength. Or maybe it's a change of direction for you, enthusiasm. Maybe your heart is calling to you to change directions. This is an opportunity for you to listen to your heart and trust it. Or maybe this situation is calling you to trust life, grace, by acknowledging the perfection in life. Or maybe this situation could be mastered through gratitude, through praise and appreciating the goodness that you do have in your life. So breathing into your belly and up to your heart, listening to your heart, asking your heart, what's the heart quality I'm being called to develop here? Breathing into that. And putting those heart qualities and practices together in an intention. I consent to living in the presence of the heart quality that you just got and practicing the heart practice. I consent to living in the presence of ease and practicing effortless flow. I consent to living in the presence of happiness and practicing savoring the moment. I consent to living in the presence of peace and practicing acceptance. I consent to living in the presence of love and practicing compassion. I consent to living in the presence of connection and practicing openness. I consent to living in the presence of gentleness and practicing mercy and forgiveness. I consent to living in the presence of spaciousness and practicing mystery. I consent to living in the presence of wealth and practicing generosity. I consent to living in the presence of courage and strength and practicing welcoming life in. I consent to living in the presence of enthusiasm and practicing following my heart. I consent to living in the presence of trust and practicing acknowledging the perfection in life. I consent to living in the presence of gratitude and practicing praise and appreciation. Take a breath into your belly and up to your heart and just stay with that intention. Just repeat it like a little mantra to yourself as you breathe in and out. I consent to living in the presence of and practicing. Breathe into that. Understand that this situation in your life has a good purpose because it's calling you to grow. It's calling you to develop a bigger heart, to take heart. Breathing into your belly and up to your heart. And sometimes it helps to remember a previous time when you felt this heart quality. Maybe a time when you felt love, or a time when you felt peace, or a time when you did something really courageous. Just breathe into your belly and take a moment to cultivate this heart quality and to commit to this heart practice. Breathing into it and feeling it in your body. That's the way. Breathing in and letting go. Beautiful. Breathing in and letting go. Listening to your heart's calling. Being true to your heart is self-love. It's where you're strongest. It's where you feel the best about yourself, no matter what's happening outside. Breathing into your belly and listening to your heart and letting go. That's the way. Well done. Breathing into your belly and up to your heart, connecting to this heart quality and practice. And just for one moment, listen to your heart about the next action step to take this week. It's the next tiny step towards resolving this issue. And if you look at this issue that you started with through the eyes of this heart quality, how does it look now? And when you look at this situation through the lens of this heart quality, peace, love, courage, how does it look now? Patience, maybe. That's the way. And what's the next action step to take if you're congruent with your heart? Just imagine yourself doing that. Might be tomorrow, might be next week or later in the week. Just imagine yourself doing it and having fun, being in flow, feeling strong and congruent in stepping forward. Beautiful. Awesome, well done. Taking a conscious breath into your belly and up to your heart again. We're going to round things off here for the moment and gently bring yourself back. So taking another conscious breath into your belly and then let go. And a deep breath down to your hands and feet, fingers and toes. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes as you bring yourself back into the present moment, into your body fully, into the chair that you're sitting in, the room that you're in. Be aware of the sound of my voice outside of you as you bring yourself fully into the present moment. Well done. Excellent. Have a nice big stretch. Big breath in. Well done. Great. And in the chat, I'd love to hear some feedback. How did you go? Thanks, Kate. Yeah. Which heart quality did you get? How are you feeling now? If you went to sleep, that's okay. Check in because you came back when I said come back. Check in how you're feeling. You were just following the process with conscious turned off and subconscious turned on. Who had a shift? Who felt a shift in your body? What was a big aha? Who had a breakthrough? Let me know. Kate, yeah, ease and effortless flow and spaciousness. Beautiful. Mary had a breakthrough. Fantastic. Yeah, so Diana, so change happens when we experience what is. So we don't judge anything in this. You had the courage to come forward and go to the edge as far as you're ready to now. So we just accept that. And we also know that change happens when we experience what is. So that means just feeling how trepidation there is around that it actually changes because of that. So well done. Jeffrey, connection, openness, and sleep. Beautiful. Della zoned out. I thought I was talking really enthusiastically tonight, so I'm trying to keep everybody present. Maybe those who zoned out, maybe zoned out. Sometimes it's the subconscious shutting down, and sometimes it's your body saying, I need to get a bit more rest. And that could be a good takeaway from tonight. Lynn, ease, effortless flow, feeling empowered. Fantastic, beautiful. Dan, compassion and effortless flow. Awesome, man. That's really great. Well done. Marlon, surrendering. Yeah, beautiful. Carly initially brought up a feeling of loneliness and tears, hard quality, love and compassion. Beautiful healing. There's a lot of love in sadness. That's lovely, Carly. Well done. Gordana, great. Thank you. Hard quality of peace was called. Fantastic. Beautiful. So my experience in this is pretty much everybody has some kind of a shift, some kind of a healing, some kind of an insight. You know, we're all in different places, and so we really can't compare to anyone. Thank you, Marlon. So we just accept that actually coming present shift things, and sometimes we shift. We're not even aware of it. You might just think you've gone to sleep, but actually tomorrow you might find yourself more present, more clear, more empowered, more motivated. So great. Yeah, I thought it was a good one. Thanks, Marlon. So I want to move forward now. And I want to just map out, after 30 years of being a transformational leader myself, I'm 61, and I'm kind of moving into mentoring level. Rather than being a practitioner, my focus is on training practitioners now and mentoring people to go out in the world and make a much bigger difference than I could make by myself. And so I have put together these 9 steps, which is in 3 groups, which I'm going to show you in a second, which lines up with the core clearing breathwork coach training. So in my experience, most of the people on these sessions are empaths. They're caring, heart-centered people. And I see there are 3 major challenges that empaths have when they're working in service. They get tired and burnt out from giving too much and not taking enough. And so the shift is to be at your best. So if you want to be a transformational leader, you need to constantly supercharge your energy. You need to regenerate. Otherwise, you'll just get burnt out. The second major thing that you need to be a transformational leader is create transformations. So you need to be able to facilitate breakthroughs. And we've got that covered with the breath work. And what I see with empaths and caring people is they have this desire, they want to do more, they want to help more, they want to make a bigger difference. And so often they can feel a bit stagnant, a bit unfulfilled, because they want to go to the next level. The third area of transformational leadership is you need to create a thriving business, right? So you could be a great healer, a great empowerment agent, but actually, if you don't know sales, marketing, and business, then you may have no clients and you might go back to a job, which you know is just over broke. So working hard, but not getting to the next level. And so you need, if you want to be a transformational leader, to focus on all 3 of these areas. And each area has 3 different pillars in it, or steps in it. So the first one, we're going to look at these quickly, be at your best. So as far as rating yourself between tired, drained, overwhelmed, inspired, excited, energized, out of 10, where would you put yourself at the moment? Give us a score. Let me know where you're at. Yeah, so Carly's a 5, Jeffrey's a 5, Dan's a 4, Della's a 6, Lynn's a 4, Marlon's 8, 9, Dana 6, 7. Yeah, so interesting. You know, if you're a bit drained, if your well feels empty, you won't be able to really give your best and make the difference that you're here to make. So we need, as caring people, not just to care for everybody else, but actually to take a bit of the pie for ourselves and care for ourselves. And so obviously we do this with breath work majorly, and just super brief, breath work has been around for thousands of years with the yogis. And in the 60s, Leonard Orr brought it back into mainstream culture with rebirthing breath work. And then his buddy was Sandra Ray, who took breath work around the world with a loving relationships training that she ran in the 80s. And then Konstantin Buteyko in Russia, he was a doctor, he actually found that what actually creates a huge shift is the carbon dioxide level in your blood more than the oxygen level. And the guy that's picked up on that is Wim Hof, the Iceman, who's got the world record for sitting in a bucket of ice for 2 hours. And he's really made breathwork the flavor of the month and inspired people about the potential of human performance, peak living through modifying breathing patterns. And people ask me, where do we fit in this? And I think I've given you a pretty good idea. Our particular style is heart-centered. So we use a gentle, flowing presence, focus on presence with about a 4/4 breathing tempo. And it's slightly different to most of the other people that are doing the breath work. And that's why I wanted to take you through this process in this session to actually get a taste for it, because it's hard to communicate in a couple of sentences. The second part of being at your best is to learn to activate the flow state. And so we use what's known as a freeze framer and help people to cultivate heart coherence, which is based on heart rate variability. We have this biofeedback device that will show you how in sync your head and your heart are. And the heart centering meditation, if you've done that, actually initiates this flow state. The third piece is to really thrive in your life, you need to have balance. So you need to focus on happiness, vitality, have meaningful goals, intimate relationships with friends or partners, be wealthy, have a freedom lifestyle, be following your soul's purpose, there's Marlon, and be making a spiritual contribution to life on earth to help make the place better. So really, to be at your best, I think we need to be attending to all of these 8 areas. And what I've found is when we're listening to our heart, it actually keeps us in balance because it calls us to pay attention to the areas that are out of balance. So the second big pillar here on this triangle was to create breakthroughs, to be able to facilitate those. So in the area of confidence, facilitating shifts for clients quickly and gently in the range of stagnant, bored, unfulfilled to confident, inspired, excited, fulfilled. Where are you on that? So pillar 2 is breakthroughs. And we know 1 to 10 where you're at. How confident are you at helping people to shift? I'm going to show you the 3 steps to be able to really create breakthroughs. Lynn's a 6, awesome. Marlon's a 9, fantastic. Dan's a 10, fantastic. Good on you, man. Donna's a 5, Carl is 7, Jeffrey 7, Mary 8, Gordana 8, fantastic. Beautiful, guys. That's really fantastic. So what we use, as you will have gathered, is the power of presence, love. And heart-centered healing and transformation is all about the quality of our presence, because the quality of our presence creates a field that's a catalyst for transformation to happen, Ian. And that presence activates the natural tendency to health, peace, happiness, and wholeness. So it's the quality of our presence that we want to focus on nurturing. And to do that, we have to heal our own emotional wounds first, because our wounds, where we're shut down and closed, is blocking the flow of love as a channel through us in the quality of our presence. The second big area in creating the breakthroughs, heart-centered breakthroughs, is doing the core clearing issues. So helping people to get out of their heads and the busyness in their minds, come into their body, connect to the emotions, and then connecting to the intuitive intelligence in our heart. And so we've kind of mapped that out, and you journeyed on that in this session. The third piece think this is the third piece. I think it's, yes, the third piece it should be, is about authenticity. One of the things that I love about call clearing and what I'm passionate about is empowering people to trust and follow their own truth instead of giving their power away to somebody else. And so the beautiful thing about this work is that we are guiding people to connect to their heart intelligence, to listen to the feedback they're getting so that they can live an authentic life. And so I think that's true empowerment. That was actually pillar number 3. So step 3. Pillar number 3 then is creating a thriving business, right? So how's your confidence level between working hard and enjoying the freedom lifestyle in your business from 1 to 10? Let me know. Just shoot from the hip. Jeffrey 5, thank you. Dan 4, Carly 6, Diana 8, beautiful. Gordana 6. Yeah, so confidence in creating a business, Marlon, which you do and you live it. It funds your chocolate puddings. Kate's a 6 and Lynn's a 5. Okay, so let me tell you about the 3 steps that you need to master to create a thriving business. And the first one is you need a client attraction and enrollment system. So you need to be able to have a system that self-generates leads. Then you need to be able to convert those people that express interest through an enrollment session, and you need to deliver something like a 10-session program, like a high-ticket item that takes people on a journey and gives them the full transformation that's available. And then you need to build your business in a circular way by creating raving fans who then become referrals to new business, and you can create a business, a great business, which I did when I was only working with the breathwork in one-on-one sessions for 10 years, never did any advertising, any marketing. I just worked purely off referrals. The second pillar you need this high ticket program. So you need something that's going to bundle up what you do into a program to provide the full transformation that's possible so that you create raving fans and a profitable business. So you can do one-on-one call clearing sessions with people, but it's a hard way to make a living is finding new people to do one session with. And so you're really not serving those people fully if you don't give them the full transformation that's available. And so it's in your interest and your client's interest to package up and create a program that takes people on a transformational journey that works for them, and it also works for you building a business. Really important. And then the third step is becoming a transformational leader, which really is about building a community around you. So I really want everyone in our community to start thinking about building a community. And these days, the most common forum for that is a Facebook group. Okay, and there's a lot of interest in that happening at the moment. And I've always had a community right from the start. I used to run a meditation group for 10, maybe more years. And they were the hub. They were the hub of the community. They were the heart of our community. And so they keep involved in you and your work, and then their friends, when they're going through trying times, then they're going to refer their friends back to you for sessions and that. So really important. And this is the next growth step for the call clearing breathwork coaching, which a few people mentioned at the start, which is we're building out, one of the exciting things is we're building out a group call clearing process, including a set of breathwork meditations that I've been working on that you can teach in a group setting. So yeah, that's a great way to leverage your time and your energy too. Yeah, so happy to talk about that. Kate, I know you're super keen on that, so I'm happy to have a chat. We can dialogue about it, and even maybe we'll have a gathering about it. Be fun. So if you're loving this, That's it. Super keen goes a long way around here. Thank you. So if you're loving what we're talking about here, you're interested in the core clearing breath work, then let me just tell you a little bit about how it all hangs together. So as you know, the core clearing breath work, it's gentle, it's fast, and it's profound, right? So it helps people gain inner peace and happiness, release stress and anxiety, access their own wisdom, move forward in their life, and achieve success and happiness with more ease. So the format for the training is the core clearing breathwork coach skills. That's one part. And then there's the second part is your personal growth. And so the actual training is 2 days online. The next one is the 4th and 5th of December. If you're listening to this as a recording, you just need to jump onto my website, breathwork.com.au, and check out the calendar and you'll see when the next one is. The training days are Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m, plus 3 evening webinar sessions. It's usually on the next 3 Thursday evenings. And then the second component of the training is your personal growth. And in that, I guide you through the You Can Change Your Life program, which is small group coaching of 10 sessions, where I actually guide you through those 8 areas of life with an introduction and completion session on each end. I guide you through these 10 areas of health, relationships, self-esteem, spirituality, prosperity, stuff like that. And then we do a core clearing session in each one so that when you get to taking your clients through that program, you've already been through it yourself. So this program comes with a script. Now, lots of people read the script and their clients have breakthroughs. So this is like the handrail on Uluru. You can go up a steep mountain with a handrail and hold on to it, and it just guides you all the way through. This is a fantastic script, and means you can get up and running and get confidence super fast because you've got the script, and doesn't have to inhibit you, or you don't have to follow the script, but it's a great way to get started and get up and going fast. In the program, you get the Tune Up Your Life 10-session coaching program for your clients. Thanks, Kate. So this is a program that I've done for you. It's got what to do in every session. There's a core clearing meditation script for each session. There's preliminary emails and follow-up emails. It's all done, packaged up for you, ready to go. We're going to build this group breathwork sessions guidelines and processes that I mentioned. There's a business and marketing and sales essentials in this. That includes an enrollment session script. So what to say to people when they ring up about doing a session with you. We've got Facebook ads, practice sessions, practice swap sessions are part of those follow-on evenings. So you can get lots of confidence. Comes with a full manual that we've put together. All the sessions are recorded and available. And the brand new news is that we've got an application in with the International Institute for Complementary Therapies to get approval for people who have completed the core clearing breathwork coach training to be able to get insurance. So it's pretty close to a done deal. They basically guarantee that they're going to work with us to get it over the line. We've got all the bits and pieces lodged and it's in process now. So we're expecting to be able to announce that pretty soon, but that's a really exciting thing to take this whole thing to another level. You've probably heard we've got the training. It's at $19.70 at the moment, which is really about half price. We've been stepping up the value of this. We're adding more and more to it. And as we go, we're going to be increasing the price. And so I just want to say there's nothing wrong with the training because it's so cheap. And if you think about it, you can pay for the training. Thought there was a different slide there. Sorry. So you can pay for the training with very few sessions. 2 people through the course. Thanks, Kate. It is packaged up to go because my mission is to get it out into the world. Thanks, guys. And if you sign up, then you get the You Can Change Your Life 10 session program with this package, which people enroll in and pay $4.97 for. There's a core clearing breathwork meditation that I'll also deliver to you so that you can have your own core clearing whenever you like. And I'm packaging up these 5 1-minute breathwork meditations. So if you look at it, if you take 2 people through the You Can Change Your Life program yourself, then you pay basically for the training. You get a certificate with this that looks pretty schmicko, I reckon. And as soon as you sign up, you get going straight away. The training is in about a couple of weeks now. So you want to jump on board so that you can get going with these Jumpstart training program, Keys to Emotional Mastery book, Head to Heart, and Heart-Centering Breathwork meditations, 5, 10, and 20-minute versions. So if you're keen, this is where you jump in. If I can't make the 4th and 5th, Dan, change the world. See if you can make it. We'll have another one next year, but see what you can do. I don't know what it is, but see how you go. And if you're keen, I'd love to have a chat with you tomorrow if you're around. I think it's, I think tomorrow or Thursday. And there's a Calendly link there. Susie, are you around? Put that in. Calendly.com, Nicholas -D/. Yeah, great. Oh, thanks. Marlon's got it in there. You're a super jam, Marlon. Thank you. Fantastic. All right, my left-hand man. So there's the link. If you want to have a chat about this, I'd love to have a chat with you tomorrow. There's a few sessions available. They're only 30 minutes and lots of fun. It's my love talking about breathwork and exploring this with you. So I'd love to have a chat if you're considering doing the training. So here's Marlon, who just dropped the note in the chat. Marlon's a sports optimum remedial massage personal trainer and now moving into coaching. And I know Marlon loves the core clearing more than massage because you actually get to the core issues instead of people just rubbing them away and then they come back when they get home. Actually go deep and process through the issues. And great, because you can do this online around the world, anywhere. Annabelle did the training, the last training, and she's a naturopath and she just added it into her practice. And so it just creates another income stream for her. Mel McCauley, same thing. She's a personal trainer in Queensland. She loves helping her clients have breakthroughs and getting the big shifts. She's keeping her clients for longer, increasing their lifetime value. And then people started telling other people, and she got more clients for her PT business through the breath work. She can use breath work in her quieter hours, because if you know about PTs, they're often morning and night, and the link didn't go through. Thanks, Marlon. Let me see. I'll have to, what can I do? Oh, Susan's computer broke. Don't worry, I'll send you out an email after this session with the link in it. It's fine. So Kate's on the call in this session, and Kate's an absolute gem and master coach, focusing now on helping people really get into shape and working very holistically. Kate's a great resource. Mark Brabender has a printing business, came down, did some sessions, totally shifted his inner game, and suddenly the outer game changed for him. Some of the common questions I get is this in person or online? It's all online. Every session is online, which means you can do it from anywhere in the world. All the sessions are recorded and the recordings are available. If you pay by installments, then they start on the day that you pay the first time. And this is level 1, and level 2 is in-person breathwork, 3.5-day residential program, 6 modules. And in that, we take this whole game to another level, and we teach people how to work specifically with trauma, okay, clearing trauma at that level. So contact me if you want to find out the next training. So that's how it all looks in summary. And the warning is, don't waste your time living half a life. Okay, so this life is short. You're here to share your gifts, and it's time for you to express your soul's purpose. You know, this life is not a dress rehearsal, but so many of us are just living life on automatic pilot. Just wake up, go through the motions, go to bed. Well, what a waste. You know, you are here on earth at this particular time in humanity to help with the heart opening of the world. It's what we need, is to come back into relationship. We need to connect to our hearts. We need to connect to each other. We need to connect to the earth. This work is at the core of the problem that started the whole crisis that we're looking at, which was the split between our head and our heart, where we started to look at our body, each other, and the world as an object that's separate from ourselves, that happened in the Cartesian paradigm, Newtonian Cartesian paradigm. So now is the time we need more breathwork coaches and healers just like you. So I want to invite you to step up, book in for a chat, and see if we're a good match to work together. So thank you for joining me for this session. I've had a lot of fun. I really appreciate everybody in the chat joining in on it. It's been fantastic, and I haven't done too bad on the time. So it's been great, and look forward to connecting again now that we're coming out of lockdown, and meeting you in person, giving you a hug, hopefully. And lots of love, and particular thanks to everybody who's showed up to support this process. It's being part of a community is something that I really treasure. So thank you.